Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing all my hints and tips for Scarefest at Alton Towers. So if you're going to be looking at staying at the resort during your Scarefest visit, which is something I would probably recommend, or get a hotel or something nearby, basically I either stay in the splash landings or the Alton Towers Resort main hotel, as these seem to be the two cheapest. I think CBBS is, even if you're not with kids, is still like majorly expensive. Normally we stay in the splash landings because it's slightly cheaper. It has been the odd few years where we have spent in the Alton Towers hotel, and I personally much prefer the Alton Towers main hotel. I just feel it's a lot nicer. The beds are slightly bigger. Well, they feel bigger anyway, even if they're not. Because normally we go as 4 adults, and normally I'm in one of the bunk beds, and yeah, the splash landing bunk beds, I mean, I'm not a massively tall guy, and even for me I'm touching both ends, and it's not a comfortable stay really. Whereas the normal hotel, the beds seem to be a bit comfier. I seem to get a better night's sleep, so it's sometimes a little bit more expensive to stay in the Alton Towers main hotel, but in my eyes it's worth it. Also the breakfast is normally a bit better as well. So to save yourself some money when booking the hotel, in the past we have rang up and got it slightly cheaper than what it is online. They seem like the Alton Towers staff are adamant that online is your best price, which in my experience it's definitely not. We normally, in the past when we've rung up and booked it in advance, we normally get like 50-60 quid knocked off what it is online, which, you know, we've been more than happy with in the past. But this time I was actually at the resort and I went to the hotel myself, spoke to the guy at the check-in desk. He was really helpful, and got him to give me a quote while I was there. I think it was for 4 adults. It was about £401 online, and we managed to get it for, I think it was £237 for the night for 4 adults. So yeah, that's like a massive saving. So yeah, definitely, you know, the amount you're saving, it's even worth it if you're just going up there for a visit just to get that booked. So yeah, just go to the hotel and ask them. Even the guy who was serving me was shocked at how much cheaper it was than the price I was getting online. So it's definitely worth doing. Yeah, definitely going to the hotel. I don't know, splash landings might be the same. You might be able to go in there in person and get it a bit cheaper. So give it a try and let me know in the comments below if you have done that. One thing I will mention about staying at the Alton Towers hotel, either one of them actually, when you get back to them at night after the park closes or whatever around that time, there is nowhere to eat. So either have some food ready yourself or get something at the park before you leave, because there is nothing back at the hotel. The bar is open, like not quite sure what time that is open till in the Splash Landings hotel. That stays open later than the main Alton Towers hotel, but that's just like, yeah, your nuts and crisps and that sort of thing. It doesn't do proper food, I don't think, as far as I'm aware. It doesn't anyway. So yeah, make sure you get something to eat before you go back to the hotel. In the past, when to do the scare mazes massively depends on what the scare maze is, whether it's inside, outside, whether it seems to get better as the day goes on. There's so many different elements to it. I would say for this year, on day one we're doing the welcoming on the first day. That's the only maze we're doing on the first day, and we're doing that at night. I think I've booked it for about 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that, because that is one that is, a lot of it's outdoors, if it's going to be the same as last year, which I'm guessing it'll be very similar to last year. So a lot of it will be outdoors, and in the dark it was a much better experience. So yeah, that's definitely one to do in the dark. As with the others, they are predominantly indoors. I'm not sure on Project 42 because we're not sure what that exactly is going to entail yet. I'm guessing a lot of that will be inside. I think personally the queue line for Subterra is going to be part of the maze. I think you'll queue up outside and that will be the start of the experience. So if that is the case, then probably nighttime might be better. wait until it starts getting darker. I've booked the rest of the mazes for the second day. They start at about 2:30 in the afternoon, something like that. Just because the second day of Scarefest, don't plan to stay there until the end. So I'd like to get the mazes not first thing, but get them done fairly early, so that they're done, and then I can concentrate on some rides if I want to do some more on the second day. A big thing actually with when booking your mazes, if say like I don't know, there's 4 of you going and 2 of you have booked your mazes, and you've booked your time slots, and then you get a group of another 2 people that also want to come, and the same slot as you isn't available. It does actually say that you have I believe it's either 60 or 90 minutes to complete your mazes, basically. So once you've started the first one, which will be the start of your time, you then have 60 to 90 minutes to do the rest. I think it's not gone up to 90 minutes because of how Project 42 is quite far away from the others, whereas normally they're all together. So I'm going to say 60 minutes just to be safe. It might be 90, but I'm going to say to you guys 60 just to cover my back. So yeah, you've got 60 minutes. So basically, it doesn't take you an hour to get through all the mazes. Half an hour, probably best. So even if they can't, the 2 people that you want to go with can't get the same time slot as you, get something close to it, and then you might still all be able to do the mazes together. The first 2 originally booked for 3 o'clock, and then the other people that want to come, they can't get a slot until 3:15 or 3:30. Doesn't really matter. You'll still be able to do them all together, because I found in the past that even if you have, say, a 3:30 slot, they might let you in at sort of 3:20 or something like that. Obviously, don't hold me to this. It depends on the staff at the day and what system they're running, but personally, this is my experience. You don't all have to get it at exactly the same time. You can sort of deviate the half an hour, and then you can all still go on them together, which is nice. And it seems to, crowd level doesn't seem to get too much. It's the only one I've sort of queued for is the welcoming. I think that had quite a queue last year. This year is the second year that I'm going to be buying a Fastpass. I bought one last year. The only reason I bought one last year is because of how busy it was last year at Scarefest when we went. We went for the final weekend, and it was they sold out of Fastpasses. That's how busy it was. It's the busiest Scarefest I've ever been to. I've never seen it that busy before, which is great for the park. Shows recovery, and it shows that they'll be able to invest in more. That's probably why I think Scarefest is as big as what it is this year, because last year was it was brilliant last year. I'm actually going to book in advance this year. I'm getting a Fastpass, like an all-day Fastpass for the first day, so that I can ride the rides I want to in the dark. I would advise, if you want to do this, book it in advance, because if it is like it was last year and it was that busy, you won't be able to get one on the day, which is very disappointing after you've queued like an hour and a half to get to the fast tracks, to buy the fast tracks, and then they turn around and go, oh yeah, we're sold out. There was a lot of people having a go at the staff and stuff. It's not their fault. They can only sell a certain amount. If they sold everyone fast passes, what would be the point in them? Because then everyone would still be queuing. If you definitely want a fast pass, book it in advance. Save yourself the disappointment. So I would say, I'm going to choose my top 3 rides to do at night, to do in the dark. I've not done Smiler in the dark yet, so I can't really. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it this year because obviously I've got the fast pass. But if I had to choose, if there was 3 that I was like, right, these are the only rides you can do in the dark. You can't do anymore. It would have to be, first off, Nemesis, because Nemesis in the dark with all the red lighting is just amazing, and Nemesis seems to just run so much faster at night. It's probably one of my favourite rides at night at Towers. Second on the list would have to be 13, because obviously it's my favourite ride at the park at the moment. That's a must as well at night, because it's in the trees, it's pitch black for most of it, and it just really adds to the 13 atmosphere, and really, it's even better when the actors are outside. Hopefully they are this year. And of course third, well, yeah, it's got to be the third, isn't it? It should really be first, but it's just because it's brand new. It's the Wicker Man at night. That I have massive high hopes for that this Scarefest at night. I think it's going to look amazing. If it's anything like the launch night, it is just going to blow people away. It's yeah, I might have to rewrite that multiple times because I think it's just going to be amazing at night. I think with all the flames and how it's been running all day, and God, how disappointed am I going to be if that closes down at night? Hopefully that won't happen. So yeah, that's the top 3. Nemesis, 13, Wicker Man at night, definites. Doesn't mean the others aren't great, because they are. The others are amazing at night. I think Oblivion is fantastic at night. That just, yeah, especially if they've got the lights on at the bottom and all the smoke effect going. That's takes Oblivion to the next level. Smile I've not done, but I'm going to be doing. Looking forward to that. I bet that's even more disorientating at night because you'll have the flashing lights and stuff, and yeah, that'll be really good. I have covered what clothing to wear in a previous video. If you search through my videos, it's one of my very early videos. It's probably a god awful video, but still, that will give you an idea of what sort of thing you need to be wearing. Basically, because you're going to be doing a lot of walking, I'm pretty sure the sky rides close when it gets dark. There's a lot of walking, and then with a lot of crowds, it's, you know, people get frustrated. You want to have comfortable clothing on. I would advise not massive coats, but thermal stuff that's thin and have a couple of layers so that you can always take layers off if you get too hot. It's better to be able to take them off than if you're cold and you can't put anything back on, or if you've got just one coat on and you get really hot and then you take it off and you freeze it. It's not a nice mixture. You want to be comfortable, you want to be able to sustain a certain temperature. So I would advise, I normally have like a t-shirt and then a thermal top over the top of that, a hoodie, and then a waterproof jacket that's very thin. The waterproof jacket doesn't have to keep you warm, it's just there to stop the wind and stop the rain, because it probably will rain. Umbrella, yeah, use an umbrella. I would advise an umbrella. Obviously wear sensible shoes. Don't wear flip-flops. Not that anyone would wear flip-flops, I don't think, but yeah, it's probably going to be wet on the floor, so don't wear shoes that are going to leak or whatever and give you wet feet, because then you're just going to be miserable, because it does get rather cold when the sun disappears. So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic time at Scarefest, and if you see me around park, come and say hi, have a chat. You know, I'm always willing to, you know, meet new faces. And yeah, if you've got any hints or tips from me, please leave them in the comments below, and or if you have any more questions, comment below and I'll try and answer them as best I can. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.